Another day, Friday night, business. You guys are relaxed. Routine out here in the evening time, living and dipping through traffic. Hopefully, you can hear me. If you can't hear me, blink. If you cannot hear me, blink once. So thanks for joining us again here on AM Dynasty. On my way to the city from the great city of Oakland, California. Headed to and through the big city. Headed from the town to the city. Running business. Just wanted to stop by again. Look like we developing a little program between you and me, going live while I'm running my business in the evening, or at least headed to run some business in the evening. So while you relax, you're on your way here from the West Coast, probably on the way home from work, or if you're on the East Coast, you're already home, or if you just got it like that, you don't got to be at work. Kick back, relax. Let's have a brief out in the rain / fireside conversation with you. So I was talking today with a friend of mine. I'm so excited for her. She's not even in California. She's out the state, but she's from here, but she doesn't live out here. She recently started a business, and we were discussing. I guess it's a services-based business. Where we were discussing, how she's trying to get her team of people to act right in a established rule. If your business, your services, if your business, your services-based businesses, let's say you're dealing with people, right, guys? Like myself, we hire people, but our jobs, the services we have, they don't pay all that much money. See you guys out there in the chat. Appreciate you. Good looking out. Who that? I see you over there in the chat. I'm halfway. You see, I'm out here on the freeway, so I can't respond. So you got a lot of love over the last couple of days. You guys jumping off in the chat. I appreciate that. In my business is doing really well, guys, right? I started this business during the pandemic. We got a lot of people out there that we mentor, and I take on a mentor. But I think it's really, really interesting as far as sharing information about business, things that can make people do a heck of a lot better. And so I was just starting to say before you guys jumped in, again, if you can't hear me, hopefully you can hear me. If you can't hear me, blink once. Okay, if you can't hear me, blink once. That should help, or maybe not. I love so much building systems, creating systems, and our business is doing really, really well. We built a great system, but here's the thing that's funny, right? When you ask for a lot, be careful what you ask for. And once you get a lot of things going, you got a lot of people, you're working with a lot of people, you got a lot of things going, you're being almost stretched thin with a lot of things that's going on, and then you get fortunate. You ask, I want more money, more new contracts for business or something, services. We do services, and when you get it, guess what? You got to build up a whole new system. Now, mind you, $1 million a year is considered a small business. So during the pandemic, right, I was taking classes about business. I was networking with people, and there were people getting all kind of PPP checks, and I'm trying to ask them in the class, man, how do I get this PPP money? Do you know that there were people, and I was staying in a fairly upscale neighborhood and county right here in California, and I noticed some of the people that were in a small business meeting, man, this guy was, wait a minute. At the time, I wasn't making any money. And I'm like, is this a small business class? It took me a while to know that until a company is making $10 million, you're considered small business unless you're making over $10 million a year. I don't know if you knew that, but that's crazy, right? If you're making less than $10 million a year, you're considered small business. That's wild as heck. So, we're doing well, but guess what? We're not making $10 million a year yet. So for my small business, it's interesting, and I love talking business. I love networking with other people. I was talking to a friend of mine, and she's dealing with her small business, dealing with jobs where you pay people fairly well, but it's not like you're giving them some great amount of pay. Like for my jobs with my workers, a lot of them still got to get a second job. Some of them can just live off of what we pay them, but not everybody. It's so interesting the type of people that you'll run across in business. And I was telling my friend, like, like you got to be careful when you're dealing with people. There's a guy out there trying to, I don't know what's the word, litigate or go through some legal proceedings with my business. And this guy, without going into details, is so interesting. He worked for me, and we paid him. We did everything right by him. This guy started sexually harassing the girls. He's sexually harassing employees, and I made the guy my manager. He's over here not doing the job good enough. Got lots of complaints coming in, and the thing that's interesting is that this guy could have costed us a lot of money compared to the money that he makes, right? And I'm trying to talk to the guy. Look, man, you're the manager. You can't be harassing these girls and doing all this. You got to abide by the rules of the company. Oh, no, I wasn't trying to harass her. I was just asking her, do she like black guys and all that? And she like the other coworker. I said, look, man, when you're on the clock, don't be sitting over there having them type of conversations. You guys talk about that away from work. Don't get my company potentially caught up in some type of lawsuit while you're at. And the girl, she was so nice, but she still kind of called me and was like, look, I'm coming from some abuse situation. The guy that you chose to hire as your manager, I don't feel comfortable with the questions that he's asking. And she basically started to tell me, like in other words, I'm being warned. You're being warned. This guy, you hired him. Not only that, you made him a manager. So he's representing you. So I pretty much had to let the guy know in a serious way, don't do this, don't do that. I had to be a little more harder on him. Eventually, he's like, man, I don't have to take this. I quit. Of course, I'm like, great, good riddance to bad rubbish. Well, the same guy comes back to my company, believe it or not, and tries to extort the company for money. The guy comes back and says, and I see you guys in the chat, I just can't read it, or else you'll really be getting a real entertaining. Go back to one of my other streams. We were on the Bay Bridge. Somebody hit our car and got the whole Bay Bridge shut down. I don't want that to be this stream. That is not the title. So just bear with me. And I appreciate you guys thumbing up the live stream. Well, this guy, again, if you can't hear me, blink once. We'll see what that's going to do. So this guy, he started at a certain date, but he tries to say, no, I started before then. You owe me money. This is after he quit. Once he quits, he wants to come work back. And I'm like, no thanks. Not that he wants to, particularly about who you let him know where you live. You don't just let anybody come to the house. Because if somebody comes to your house, ain't no telling what kind of liberties people might take if they come to your house. No matter what kind of, even if you got some type of excursion going on, that's why hotels make a lot of money. You're not just getting any old body to the house. Well, that's the same thing when you got a business. You got to be careful who you bring in to your business, because there's no telling if people will try to be stomp and say, well, let my friend, I'm going to introduce you to a friend. You know what, I'm going to pass. I appreciate it, but I think I'm going to pass on that opportunity. Well, this guy tries to extort my company, one of my companies. He's literally trying to say I owe him money. Goodness gracious, man. I hope you guys don't really get a show on this stream right here. It's raining cats and dogs. I know your daughter it never rains in well, it may never rain in Southern California, but it damn sure rains in Northern California. This guy is tries to extort the company, and I'm so glad that I kept all the good receipts. I get some court papers saying that some private attorney, I guess, is taking on this guy's case, but this guy tries to say, tell them that I owe him money and I'm not paying. And of course I did pay him, but he's just talking crap. So this company is going through the court system demanding papers that I show them that show us this guy's all his pay stubs. Show us all the proof you have. Luckily I got all the proof. Oh, I didn't even tell you guys here's the thing about this guy. Once he quit, right? This guy then goes to one of my clients and start bad mouthing me. So now he quit. When he quit, I'm like, great, good riddance. he really wants this job back, but once he showed that he started talking crap to get you, halfway cursing me out, I said no problem. Like, I'm glad you didn't cost me a lot of money. That you're showing your true colors, right? Do you know that this guy starts to go to my clients and trying to get the client to fire me? Now, luckily, my clients know what kind of person that I am. I do really good business. I'm a giver, guys. I'm just smart enough to not be taken too often. I'm a giver. That's why I decided to get into business instead of me being a giver and always being taken advantage of at my jobs. I can be a giver because I'm not the kind of giver that's going to allow you to take advantage of it, which means I can do good in business because I know when to say no. Well, this guy goes to my clients, and now for the little bit of money that he makes, me a lot of money, and that's what he's trying to do. I had to actually, luckily, the people telling me, "Hey, man, slandered your name up here." He said, you know, it said I sued the guy because the guy was slandering my name, and I sent him that text message, and I said, "Look, don't slander." I said, "You're slandering my name. If you continue, if this persists, you continue to go slander my name or my company reputation, I'll be forced to take legal action against you." So the guy finally ran away. A month later, I get some papers in the mail where he's trying to sue me. Also, so after he was basically trying to say I owed him money. So then he get basically, I get papers saying that I owe him money. Now here's the thing: when I hired the guy, as well as most of my employees, everybody's looking at each other. Everybody's seeing each other fill out their applications, and also it's on camera. We're meeting at a location that's on camera. It's being recorded. So I have these documents. So whatever the work date was, there's legal documentation for that start date. So I'm covered. It's still the fact that someone's trying to extort the company. That's what this comes down to, which is a problem. How do you protect yourself against that? Why I just said it. You make sure your documentation is your representation, not you running your mouth. Whether that be emails, text, written documentation, and camera footage. So now I'm going through it with that type of situation right there. I sent all the guys' paperwork to my people, and we're gonna go handle that. But I think it's interesting when you deal with a lot of people. I was telling my one friend, a lot of people, some people out there are not too responsible. Nobody's perfect. But some people, I guess it's true what they say. Misery truly does love company, and that's not a joke. If you see somebody miserable out there, get away from them. Is my advice. People will mess up their come up. So in other words, they will mess off their check, their hard-earned money, and then they want to spend yours, your hard-earned money, your hard-earned sweat equity. They ruin theirs, waste it, then they want you to come join them in the pity party or ruining your hard-earned money, your sweat equity, whatever, your investment. People really want that. Not everybody, but people that's on that wavelength. Guys, you got to be careful of people like that. You got to be careful of people like that. You got to be careful who you associate with, no matter if you're in business or you're not in business, but especially if you're in business. I put the title #problem solver. There's going to be a lot of challenges in life and in business. I think perspective is almost everything. I had a friend who beat cancer 2 times. You have to fail to realize every waking moment now if you have a job. You see what I'm going through right now? This is Bay Area traffic at its finest. For a lot of people, this is a second. When you go work a job, you got to put in that time to get to your job. A lot of people. In that time to get to your job, a lot of people, not everybody, people to get to your job, and you basically had about 2 or 3 hours to relax before it's time to go to sleep. That's a work crews on how to do a job. Yeah, that's work. But it's not as much work because I'm the boss. So I'm just kind of telling you, like, um, and then of course when you're doing all the other things that it entails of business, essentially it's not work. It's actually pretty fun, and it's exciting. You get to learn things. What's it say? Catfish. What's somebody saying? Hold on. What's somebody saying in the comments? And what y'all talking about in the comments over here, man? Let me see what this says. The ruler of catfish. Who be catfishing? Me? I don't know who this is. This will be somebody I know. Let's see. I don't know who this is in the chat, but I see y'all over here clowning. I'm gonna have to check y'all out later. Like again. You know what I mean? But bottom line is business is really exciting. It took a long time to start making a couple of dollars. When you start making a couple of dollars, I just want to impress upon everybody. Like I'm talking to my one friend who's starting her company, man, it gets easier. And when you start building on your hard work, the hardest thing to do is like I tell people, it's like pushing a car. You guys out there ever go push a car down the street? The battery went out. The hardest thing you had to do is get that thing rolling, right? Once that thing got rolling, it was rolling. Now you can almost push the thing with your pinky. It's a little bit more of a challenge. So yeah, I see one of my homeboys calling right now. Hey, my homeboys calling me right now. I'm gonna give him a call. I want you guys to go out there and go subscribe to Ace Love. Ace Love out there on YouTube. He's a gamer, social, and a content creator. We'll be doing some videos probably together as we get to this summer when the weather get nice, because he's out there in Vegas. I'm out here in Cali. Go ahead and out there and subscribe to Ace Love. Check it out, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. This is just a brief talk. I'm out here going to solve some problems, problem solver. I may go live a little bit later, but we're gonna start to do this a little bit more often, at least as long as I gotta dip off in this wind and get in traffic. We're gonna go live here or there. And you know what? I want to tell you guys been supporting me a lot recently. I really appreciate it. Appreciate all the support. Appreciate all the inboxes and you guys subscribing on the several social media platforms. Appreciate you. I'm gonna catch up with you guys soon on AM Dynasty. Look for a lot of new hot content we're gonna be putting out, and keep that money moving, keep that business going, keep it tight and right with your families out there. Okay, so appreciate you. AM Dynasty is out of here. Catch you on the next one. Peace.